Hey, I'm Justin from ArcSky. In this video, I'll be giving you a high-level overview of the Xplorer platform. On the table in front of me, I have the different components of the Xplorer, and I'll talk a little bit about each one. So over here, we have the Xplorer controller. This features a 7-inch touchscreen display, up to 6 hours of battery life, and a lot of inputs and outputs like HDMI, Ethernet, and USB ports. In the middle here, we have our Sony ILX mapping package. This has built-in geotagging and interchangeable lenses on the Sony camera body. Next up are Xplorer smart batteries. These are 6S lithium-ion batteries with intelligent features like self-balancing and self-discharge, and of course they're hot swappable on the Xplorer. And lastly, the Xplorer itself. This is our compact industrial drone system, and it has features like a built-in FPV camera, forward-facing rangefinder for avoidance, and a downward-facing rangefinder for terrain following. Now I'm going to talk about how to set up and power on the system. So the first step is I'm going to take the Sony ILX payload, make sure this connector here is facing forward, and install it in the payload port. Once it's in there, I'll close the quick release collar, and that's installed. Now I'll take one of the smart batteries, insert it into this bay right here. Take the other battery, do the same thing, make sure that it clicks into place. And I'm not going to power on the system yet. I'm going to come over to the controller and power that up. So it's one quick button press and then press and hold. I'll wait till the controller boots up and then make sure the ArcSky Control app is open. Now that the ArcSky Control app is open, I can power up the Xplorer. To do that, all you have to do is press the button on either battery. Just press and hold for approximately 2 seconds until you see the lights of the system start to turn on. So now that both parts of the system are powered up and connected, I'll give you a little bit more of an overview of the ArcSky Control app. We'll first start by looking at the top toolbar. You'll see a place where messages will show up when you have anything that you need to be aware of, the current flight mode, and the status of different sensors and your batteries. So you'll see a GPS indicator, battery status, status of both the rangefinders, remote ID status, a place where you can quickly set things like return to launch altitude and waypoint speed, and finally a few controls for your gimbal and camera payloads. On the right hand side over here, we have a selector where you can switch between the primary FPV camera feed and the payload video feed just with the press of a button. When you press the payload feed, you'll have access to settings that are related to that payload. When you go back to the FPV camera, you'll see the FPV view again. And finally on the bottom, a telemetry panel with quick access to things like your altitude, distance away from home, flight time, and your current speed. If you want to plan a mission directly through the controller, the way you do that is clicking on the ArcSky icon, going into the Plan Flight, and here you'll see all of your flight planning tools that are available to create missions. I'll go back into the fly view by clicking Exit Plan, and this is the interface that we'll be in most of the time when we're operating the drone. Now that the system's ready to go, I'll take the Xplorer over to the landing pad and get ready for flight. The Xplorer is powered on, set up, and in position. Now I'll go through some of the basic flight operations. First of all, to arm the system, we're going to use the left joystick. We just have to put it into the bottom right corner. That will arm the system. Hold it there for a second. Wait until the propellers start spinning, bring the throttle up, bring it up a little bit more and take off. And I'll move out into the field a little bit. Now I'll do some basic control checks. I'll check pitch, roll, yaw, a little bit of throttle. At this point, I'll also show the camera controls. So on the left wheel over here, I can control the yaw of the camera. The right wheel controls the pitch. To take a manual photo, I can use this button on the controller here, or I can use the button on the app. I already have a mission preloaded, so to execute that mission, I'm just going to move out a little bit farther manually, and then hit the auto button, which will put it into auto flight mode. Notice that the camera automatically goes down into the 90-degree position. Okay, now we're at the end of this simple mission. Normally you would have a return to launch, but in this case I'm just going to fly it back manually. I'll switch to loiter mode and then pilot it back. Once I'm above the takeoff location, drop the throttle, hit the landing pad and disarm by moving the joystick into the bottom left corner. You'll see that also the geotagging process has started. Once that's complete, it'll tell us, and we know that we're good to power down the system. Now that we're done with the mission, I can turn off the system. To turn off the Xplorer, just press one of the battery buttons and hold it for about 2 seconds until the system shuts down. To shut off the controller, it's the same as the power on sequence. Press once and then press and hold. So that's the basic setup and operation of the Xplorer. I hope you found this video useful to understand the process a little bit better. As always, make sure you read the operation manual to understand the full details. And we'll also have more videos coming up in the near future about full workflows for each of the payloads. Thanks for watching.